Hello, this is Jessica, and today I am going to be giving a speech on the topic of victim blaming, and I have chosen the subtopic empowerment of the oppressed is not just about giving powers to the oppressed, but also giving education to the oppressors. Habadi, namthaduna thammiba sing ase kha thangi haragadi namthaningiba mi khaido hana khanghanba ma changi education gi kuthangna habani. Me being a girl that is born into this society of hierarchy of rights and powers, talking about topics like this really hits home, and I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to voice out my opinions. Now, starting with the very definition of victim blaming, it is basically to hold the victim of a crime responsible for the harm that befalls upon them. Hanadagi soklaga leiriba crime ama tawa matamsida sokliba mido adugiduda maransiba aduga tasengna lanba ngaiduna kanthokpado adu victim blaming kawi. And this is more common towards the more oppressed sections of the society, like the women and the minorities. And I would like to class victim blaming into 3 degrees. In the first degree of victim blaming, I would like to include all the microaggressions and the gaslighting which we face as women almost every day. Samna hairabada nupi amana sorokta chatpa matamda mangonda laknaba, verbal abuse toba, sexual abuse toba, physical abuse toba, and saying that it must be because she provoked them, which is completely wrong, because there is no free pass given to abuse towards a certain person that dresses a certain type of way. They do not have the right to abuse them if she or he walks out alone at night. And in the second degree of victim blaming, I would like to include the much more serious physical and mental torture of the oppressed, like a woman in a marriage that is not capable of having a baby, angang pokpangamdaba, nupiduna, natragana, angang nupi pokpa, aduga, dupadugi, family duna, pamdaba. Aduga, this is so ironic because the Y chromosome, which is responsible for the gender of the baby, comes from the father, and the women get blamed for it. And the laws to equality and to abolish domestic violence has been passed in the 1930s, and yet the women get domestic violence for these, and they get mentally and physically tortured till now, which about a century later. And in the third category of victim blaming, I would like to include rape, which is one thing which can single-handedly ruin a person's life. It strips a woman from all humanly honor. And even if she does escape from such a horrific ordeal, she would be scrutinized by the society and torn apart, will be gossiped over, and which leads to her mental instability and lead to suicide. Now, all of these evils stem from 2 things. The first one is appropriation of outdated and immoral behavior and principles. And lack of awareness. Aduga, our only means will be education, because education brings about awareness. And by education, I don't mean just the classroom or the textual learning. I mean to be aware of sensitive topics like gender inequality, about abuse, rape. Topics like this should not be taboo. It should be learned at school. It should be in the education curriculum. And co-ed education must be encouraged. Kaino haragadi mathangi generation gi angang khaida kadigumba hajite hauna mi ngaktani nupi nupa ka manai, boys and girls are the same, habisi made clear tawraba pi hauna adu haragadi moido chawrakanda adum yamna respectable oiba human beings, citizens kai oigani. They will be aware that all of us are human beings and all of us are equals. Both minorities or women all together as a society, we will develop far more. Duga, workplace amada, there should be equal number of men and women, so that there can be equal weightage of power between the genders. And also, akoina nupi ma natragana oppressed oiba ama akoigi ithose kaino hari to voice out our opinions, to voice out our sufferings. We have to speak up. We have to fight the resistance of change provided by the society. Society is afraid of change. Has always been afraid of change, but there's one thing that is also true. The only thing that is permanent about the universe is change itself. And we are here to bring it. So in the revolution say for the better purakpangamgani medium weapon of choice it would be education. Thank you very much and have a nice day.